Luna saves Equestria in her sleep. By Adorkable Moonlight. Luna sat upon the large golden throne in the main hall. When her sister wasn't hogging it all day in the sunshine, it fell to her to take over during the night. The elegant alicorn softly popped her lips aloud, the echo seeming to carry on for what seemed like hours. Her flying mane of starlight was a bit unkempt today. She didn't really get much rest as her sister was constantly making a ruckus. The whole castle up in a frenzy with the stomping of hooves driving her close to madness. That was without the constant neighing the main hall brought during voting hours. Luna gave a quick gaze across the empty room, her pale blue eyes hidden back behind black bags that were heavily hung under her hues. All was silent and still not a soul could be seen. She swiftly yawned as loud as she could, a large snort following after. It was quite unladylike, but at this point she was so sleepy she did not care the least who knew she was drooling down the sides of her muzzle. With a flash of sparkling magic behind the throne, she lifted a silken dark blue eye mask from the abyss. Smirking, she slid the mask down and let out a sweet sigh of relief, just as placing them on her head. Smirking, she slid the mask down and let out a sweet sigh of relief. Just placing them on her put her at ease as she could feel her whole slender frame melt into the throne like butter. Warmth flowing across her body, she slid into her seat comfortably, a tender smile upon her muzzle that was of unmatched comfort, carrying her away to Cloud 9 in the sky. Unknown to her at the moment that Celestia had found her mask in the morning hours, taking the liberty to paste on large cartoony blue eyes on the front with an expression of pure intrigue. The galloping of a night guard could be heard for miles down the empty hallways of the castle, a large grey stallion pushing ahead with all his might, cloaked in armour as dark as the night he protected. He winced dark steel blue eyes in pain, pushing himself to not stop as he lunged into the main hall with urgent news. The doors to the room exploded open with sounds matching that of crashing thunder. The guard slid to a stop before the ruler of the knights kneeling, trying to catch his breath between pleasantries. "Your Majesty, invaders of Diamond Dogs come from the Badlands," the guard spoke with voice full of urgency and worry amidst his breath. Luna gazed to the guard as her head tilted downwards slightly in acknowledgement, her eyes still with the wisdom of 1,000 years, never blinking. "They're outside the gates of the city, Princess. They threaten war unless you kneel to their commands. They claim a force of at least 2,000. Luna tilted her head off to the side, the guard watching as she viewed the city from her throne room window. Lost in deep thought, she had to protect her subjects, but also could not surrender to such wild animals. What do we reply? This might become our darkest hour. Luna let out a mighty noise erupt from her nostrils, echoing across the room like a clash of 1,000 armies. My goddess, are you sure we should offer such a crude reply? Those monsters are on edge as it is. Luna lifted her head back towards the sky above in the deepest of thoughts before she clashed it downward with her reply of yes. The guard awestruck, shivering in his place. Never had he seen such a brash tactic to deal with invaders. I will tell their commander we shall not kneel to such demands. Anything else, my princess? Luna seemed to snort aloud even more as she mustered a mighty cleansing from her nostrils. Smacking her lips proudly, she spit out a mixture of drool and waste onto the floor below. I see, we spit on their offer. The guard shivered in place and began his walk outside to face the enemy head-on with his orders from the princess herself. Luna gave a soft lick of her lips as she placed a hoof on the side of the throne, resting her head upon it in a vain attempt to get comfortable, eyes gazing out towards the front gates in intrigue, her night guard relaying the message before her, a loud gasp escaping the mouths of the enemy forces. The Diamond Dog commander gave a wicked snarl, foam filling the sides of his mighty jaws, his golden armour gleaming in the moonlight above. He began to dig his long razor-like claws into the soft dirt below, golden hues gazing up to the open window of the castle. His eyes locking upon her own, he cast a glare of anger like none other to the rule of the night, bearing long white fangs towards the window in a show of strength, the princess never budging from her spot, eyes blank and unblinking. The commander felt his gaze burn like hellfire, causing an eerie yellow glow towards the pathetic slender pony to break her resolve into pieces. Yet she gave a stare that was as cold as the night itself, her eyes large and pale like the moon she ruled over, full of vast knowledge of the ages. The large dog felt his body tense as he gave a death stare to the pony, one that should cause her to feel true fear within her soul. He felt his body ache and eyes burn like embers before he soon gave a large blink. flinching in place while the taste of defeat flooded over him, her gaze unblinking and cold, full of death that might have followed if he did not pull back his forces. The commander gave apology to the killer, who were kind enough to spare them. Soon the mass of dogs vanished back into the hills from whence they came. The sun soon rising high into the sky, the break of dawn here at long last, the grace of a new day filling the air with hope and renewed faith. The night guard gazed towards the pale blue sky, watching as Celestia brought forth her son. I should never have doubted her grace. The guard spoke with a sense of relief filling his soul, swiftly walking off into the distance to greet his family. Deep within the main hall, Luna sat upon her throne gazing forward in infinite knowledge of the world around her, once again saving her land from near destruction with grace, poise, and... Drop the banana, Tia.